soft morning light filters through the window. A woman in her 60s stands in front of her mirror, blouse in hand, with a thoughtful look on her face. Should she tuck it in or let it fall free? Have you ever been there? Have you ever looked at yourself, blouse in hand, and wondered, if I tuck it in, will my tummy show too much? But if I leave it out, will I look sloppy or weighed down? If you have, you're not alone. In fact, it's one of the most common questions women over 60 quietly ask themselves. The truth is, most fashion advice out there is written for younger women. Bodies that haven't changed with time, lifestyles that don't reflect the way we live now. But after 60, things are different. Our shapes soften, our waistlines shift, and comfort becomes just as important as style. So here's the real question. How do you turn a simple blouse into your secret weapon? The piece that makes you look taller, slimmer, and effortlessly elegant. That's exactly what we'll explore together today. We'll talk about when to tuck, when to let it flow, and how to layer in ways that bring out your best features. And believe me, just a few small changes can not only surprise you when you catch your reflection, but might also earn you unexpected compliments from the people around you. As we enter our 60s, many of us notice subtle, yet undeniable changes in our bodies. Maybe one morning you catch your reflection and wonder, when did my waistline soften? When did I start looking just a little shorter? If you've asked yourself those questions, you're not alone. These changes are completely natural, and every woman experiences them in her own way. Our skin loses elasticity over time. Collagen, that wonderful protein that kept everything firm and smooth, begins to decline. That's why the tummy feels softer, or why we notice looser skin around the midsection and arms. At the same time, fat that once settled evenly may now gather more around the belly. Doctors call this the apple shape, and it becomes more common as we grow older. Height also shifts. Research shows that after the age of 40, women may lose nearly half an inch of height every decade, and even more after 70. That means a favorite pair of pants or a dress hemline might suddenly feel a little longer than it used to. And let's not forget muscle tone. Without regular movement, the core and back muscles can weaken, making posture softer and clothes drape differently on the body. But here's the question I'd love for you to consider. Are you dressing to truly feel comfortable? Or are you only trying to cover up what you see as flaws? Let me ask you this. When you wear a blouse untucked, does it give you freedom? Or do you feel like it's hiding too much? When you tuck your shirt in, do you feel polished? Or do you notice your tummy more than you'd like? And when you layer with jackets or cardigans, do those layers add elegance? Or do they make you feel lost beneath the fabric? The answers are different for every woman, but the key is the same. Comfort does not mean giving up style, and elegance does not mean squeezing into something that doesn't honor your body. Here's something I discovered myself. At 63, I slipped on a light, cotton swing top, soft and easy, and paired it with straight-leg trousers. I left the top untucked, just grazing the hip. At first I hesitated, worried that it might look too loose. But when I looked again in the mirror, I saw balance. The top flowed softly. The pants created a long line. And for the first time in years, I felt at ease instead of self-conscious. I added a long necklace and a soft scarf near my face. And instantly, the focus shifted upward. My tummy was still there, but it no longer defined me. That's the beauty of understanding your body after 60. We're not dressing to hide, we're dressing to celebrate who we are right now. By choosing gentle fabrics, thoughtful proportions, and styles that work with our bodies instead of against them, we honor both comfort and confidence. So before we move into the next chapter, how to decide when to tuck, when to leave a blouse out, and how to layer gracefully, I invite you to pause and reflect. What do you want your clothes to say about you? Because at this stage of life, it's not about chasing trends. It's about choosing joy, ease, and a style that lets you walk into the world feeling beautifully yourself. There are days when we stand in front of the mirror, blouse in hand, and wonder, should I tuck this in, or would it feel better left out? After 60, that choice feels even more meaningful, because our bodies have changed and comfort matters just as much as style. Leaving a blouse untucked can be incredibly flattering when done with intention. The secret lies in the fabric and the cut. Light, fluid materials like cotton blends, rayon, or a soft linen move with your body instead of clinging to it. And shapes such as A-line or swing cuts, which start slimmer at the shoulders and gently flare toward the hem, create a graceful flow. They skim past the tummy rather than pressing against it, giving freedom without looking oversized. Balance is the key. An untucked swing top pairs beautifully with straight-leg trousers or softly flared pants. Why? Because these cuts create a vertical line that lengthens the legs and balances out the volume of the blouse. On the other hand, if you wear a long untucked top with tight skinny jeans, the proportions shift and the midsection suddenly feels more noticeable. But with flares or straight legs, everything looks harmonious, easy, and effortless. Here's something to keep in mind. Studies show that a majority of women over 60 prefer looser tops, but many go too far, choosing heavy fabrics or tunics that fall too low. Instead of flattering, this can overwhelm the frame. A hem that ends just at or slightly below the hip is usually the sweet spot. It covers enough, but it doesn't drown your shape. Let me share a little story. At 62, I tried on a lightweight, cotton linen swing blouse in a soft neutral color. I left it untucked over dark flared pants that brushed the top of my shoes. The blouse floated softly. The pants created a long line. And for the first time in years, I felt taller than I actually am. Friends even commented that I looked lighter, though nothing about my weight or height had changed, only the way the outfit framed me. Now, let me turn the question to you. When you leave a blouse untucked, where does the hem fall? Right at the hip or far below it? Does the fabric move easily with you, or does it feel stiff and heavy? And when you pair that blouse, do your pants add balance, like a gentle flare, or do they make the middle of your body the only focus? Your answers matter because they reveal how untucking works for you. Done thoughtfully, an untucked blouse isn't sloppy at all. It's free, elegant, and surprisingly flattering. But here's the thing. Untucking won't be the right choice every time. Sometimes a subtle tuck or a clever layer can bring even more polish and shape. That's where we're headed next. Learning when to tuck and how to use layering in a way that feels graceful, comfortable, and entirely your own. There are moments when leaving a blouse out feels easy and free. But there are also times when a gentle tuck can transform the way we look and feel. After 60, it isn't about rules or trends anymore. It's about using small styling tricks to highlight the parts of our bodies that still bring us confidence. Not every tuck has to be all or nothing. In fact, most of the time, a full tuck isn't the answer. A front tuck, where you slip just the center of your blouse into the waistband and let the rest fall freely, creates a soft suggestion of a waistline without clinging. A side tuck does the same, but with a playful off-center twist. It's modern, forgiving, and especially flattering when your blouse is longer or looser. A full tuck, neat and complete, has its place too. Think of a special dinner, church service, or a moment when polish feels important. But it works best with fabrics that are smooth and medium weight, not too stiff and not too sheer. Why tuck at all? Because proportion matters. As we get older, many of us prefer tops that cover more. But when a blouse drops too far below the hip, it can shorten the leg line and make us feel heavier than we are. A tuck, even just a partial one, balances the outfit. It defines the waist, elongates the legs, and gives structure without sacrificing comfort. In fact, style surveys suggest that nearly half of women over 60 choose some version of a front or side tuck in their everyday looks. It's not about looking younger. It's about looking balanced, confident, and comfortable in the body you have today. Let me share a personal moment. At 65, I tried on a soft blouse that fell well past my hips. Left out, it made me feel like I was swimming in fabric. So I slipped just one side into the waistband of my high-rise flared trousers, added a blazer worn open, and looked again. The change was subtle, but powerful. Suddenly I had shape. I looked taller, slimmer, and more put together. Yet nothing about me had changed, only the way the fabric framed me. Another day, I reached for a crisp button-down shirt and gave it a front tuck into straight leg jeans. The tuck brought just enough polish to make the outfit feel intentional, but it was still relaxed enough to run errands or meet a friend for coffee. That little half-inch of fabric made all the difference. Now, let me ask you, do you own a blouse that feels too long when you leave it out? Have you ever tried slipping just a corner into your waistband to see how it changes the proportion? When you wear pants with a higher rise, does tucking help you feel more balanced? And when you layer with a blazer or cardigan, do you notice how a tucked blouse gives structure instead of letting the layers swallow your shape? The beauty of tucking isn't about hiding. It's about shaping. It's a way of saying, here's where my waistline belongs. Here's how my outfit flows. It gives intention to what might otherwise feel ordinary. And as we step into the next part of this journey, layering becomes the natural partner to tucking. Because what you wear on top, your jacket, your cardigan, your blazer, decides whether that perfect little tuck shines through or disappears in extra fabric. Layering is one of the simplest ways to make an outfit feel polished, versatile, and season-ready. But if we're honest, it can also be one of the trickiest. The wrong jacket length or too much fabric. And suddenly the layers that were meant to flatter end up swallowing us whole. The secret lies in proportion. A blazer that stops right around mid-hip often works beautifully for women over 60. Any longer, especially if your blouse underneath is the same length, and you lose that sense of shape. The eye doesn't know where to rest. It just sees one straight line of fabric. Cardigans and denim jackets can do the same if they're oversized or hang too low. One simple fix? Keep your jacket open. An open blazer or cardigan creates a vertical line down the body, naturally lengthening your frame. Pair it with an inner layer that's just a touch shorter, or gently tucked at the front. And suddenly, the whole outfit feels lighter, more balanced, more intentional. Style surveys show that more than half of women over 60 avoid layering altogether because they feel it adds bulk. But the truth is, it's not layering itself, it's how the layers are chosen. Structured blazers, fitted cardigans, or a neat denim jacket can give support to the outfit instead of drowning it. Let me share a moment from my own life. At 66, I wore a long blouse with a blazer that was nearly the same length. With both layers closed, I looked in the mirror and felt heavy, shapeless, almost hidden inside my clothes. Then I made two tiny changes. I opened the blazer and tucked just the front of the blouse into my high-rise trousers. What a difference! The blazer created a vertical line. The tuck gave me a hint of waist, and suddenly I stood taller, slimmer, and much more confident. Another time, I tried a long loose cardigan that fell to mid-thigh. My simple tee underneath completely disappeared, and all anyone could see was fabric. I switched to a shorter cardigan, one with a little more structure, and the whole outfit lifted. I didn't look lost in layers anymore. I looked like myself. So, let me ask you, when you wear a blazer or cardigan, where does it fall? Does it stop at your hip, or does it drag down past your thighs? Do you ever try leaving your jacket open, just to see how that vertical line changes your shape? Is your blouse underneath too long, or have you tried tucking a corner in to reveal more balance? And what about the fabric? Does your outer layer hold its shape? Or is it too soft to give your outfit structure? Layering, done thoughtfully, isn't about covering up. It's about framing your body, creating balance and adding dimension without weight. It's the difference between feeling hidden and feeling beautifully defined. And once the layers are working in your favor, the next step is even more fun. Learning how accessories and color can guide the eye exactly where you want it to go. Sometimes it isn't the entire outfit that changes how we look and feel. It's the little details. After 60, those details become even more powerful. A sleeve with movement, a thoughtful pop of color, or a necklace that draws the eye upward can completely transform the way we carry ourselves. Let's start with sleeves. A flutter sleeve that dances lightly, a soft puff sleeve with just enough volume, or a gentle bell sleeve that opens at the wrist. These shapes shift the balance of your outfit. They pull attention upward, toward your shoulders and face, and away from the midsection. For many women, they also bring comfort by offering a little coverage without ever feeling heavy or restrictive. Next, color and pattern. Bold prints on a pair of trousers can anchor the look and guide the eye downward. A blouse in a lighter color, or one with detailing near the neckline or shoulders, pulls the gaze upward instead. The magic lies in contrast. When one part of your outfit is the star, the other plays a supporting role. That balance creates harmony and keeps your look intentional, not accidental. And then, accessories. Think of them as the finishing touches that quietly lead the eye. A long necklace draws a vertical line, lengthening your frame. A silk scarf in a fresh color near your face brightens your complexion instantly. Statement earrings frame the face and bring light to your smile. Even shoes can change the conversation. Slim, pointed-toe styles or nude shades make the legs appear longer, while oversized or heavy shoes can interrupt that line. I'll share a personal example. At 67, I slipped on a pastel blouse with soft puff sleeves, paired it with dark floral trousers, and added a delicate scarf at my neck. I chose earrings that brushed just below the jawline. When I looked in the mirror, my eyes didn't linger on my tummy. They went to my shoulders, my face, and the scarf. It felt like my outfit was working with me, not against me, and the confidence that gave me was priceless. Now I'd love to ask you, have you noticed how a flutter or bell sleeve changes the way your upper body feels in balance with your middle? When you wear printed pants, do you see how the focus shifts away from the tummy and down toward the legs? And when you add a scarf, a long necklace, or earrings you truly love, does your face suddenly become the brightest part of your outfit? These aren't big dramatic changes. They're gentle touches. But those touches are what make an outfit feel complete. What turns something ordinary into something personal and powerful. At this stage in life, style isn't about hiding. It's about guiding the eye, highlighting your best features and letting your spirit shine through in every detail. We've all had those moments. Standing in front of the mirror, tugging at our blouse, wondering why the outfit feels heavy or unflattering. The truth is, it isn't our bodies that are the problem. More often, it's just small styling choices that make a big difference. Let's talk about a few common mistakes and the simple ways to avoid them. The first mistake is pairing a very long top with wide leg pants. When both the blouse and the pants are long and loose, the body can disappear into fabric, creating what I like to call the box effect. The waistline vanishes. And instead of looking balanced, everything feels square and heavy. Have you ever tried this combination and felt as if you were floating in fabric? A quick fix is to choose a top that stops at the hip, or tuck in just the front or one side of a longer blouse. That little adjustment brings back shape and proportion. The second mistake is fully tucking in a blouse that's too long. While a neat tuck can look polished, with a longer blouse it often backfires. Extra fabric gathers right at the tummy, drawing attention to the very area many of us would rather soften. Have you ever noticed how a full tuck can make your midsection look larger instead of slimmer? The solution is easy. Try a front tuck or a side tuck. Both highlight the waist gently without the bulk. The third mistake is layering too many heavy pieces at once. We want warmth, especially in colder months, but when every layer is thick, a chunky sweater, a heavy cardigan, and then a dense blazer, it weighs down the frame. The result? Lost waistline, stiff movement, and a look that feels overwhelming. Instead, think in terms of balance. A light blouse underneath, a medium weight cardigan or blazer, and one structured outer layer if needed. 2 thoughtful layers can look and feel far better than 3 or 4 that fight each other. I remember at 68, slipping on a tunic-length blouse with wide-leg trousers. Looking in the mirror, I felt swallowed, as though my shape had disappeared. I made a small change, tucked just the front of the blouse into my waistband, added a slim belt, and suddenly my waist returned. Another time, I layered too heavily. A thick knit, a bulky cardigan, and a wool blazer. I was warm, yes, but I felt trapped. When I switched to a lighter cardigan and a structured jacket, my outfit lifted, and so did my mood. Now, I'd love to ask you, have you ever paired a long blouse with wide pants and felt like your waistline disappeared? Have you noticed how a full tuck with too much fabric can make your tummy more obvious instead of less? And when you layer, do you ever feel weighed down by too many heavy pieces instead of supported by just the right ones? These are not mistakes to feel embarrassed about. They're simply opportunities to adjust, to learn what serves your body best today. And once you know what to avoid, you can fully embrace all the tools we've talked about, tucking and untucking, layering wisely, adding color, choosing accessories, to create outfits that highlight your confidence and your grace. If there's one thing I hope you carry with you after this video, it's this. Fashion at this stage of life isn't a mask. It's a mirror. It's not about hiding. It's about celebrating. Celebrating the woman you are today, with your wisdom, your grace, and your quiet strength. And here's the quiet truth. The secret isn't chasing trends or squeezing into rules that were never made for us. It's about balance, proportion, comfort, and those little details that let you feel at home in your own skin. Because no matter your age, no matter your size, you deserve to walk into the world feeling radiant. Your clothes aren't meant to cover you up. They're meant to lift you up, so you can move through life with ease, confidence, and timeless elegance. So if today's video sparked even one new idea, or simply reminded you that you're not alone, hit subscribe. Think of it as bookmarking a space where you'll always find gentle encouragement waiting for you. And remember, style is never about the number on a tag. It's about how beautifully you choose to show up in the world. Until next time, keep showing up in your own timeless way.